Hey, like the video. Like it. Push the like button. It's right there.
We like your likes.
Just push the like button. It'll definitely, all 7 of you who watch the videos. Thank you.
Suck it, witches.
Greetings, everyone. This is Morning Eggnog. My name is James. With me, as always, Caleb.
Good morning, everybody.
Welcome to episode 80. Thank you so much for joining us. And we hope that you have a wonderful day.
Yes.
And enjoy this podcast. So last night...
See ya. It sounded like an ending.
It did. So last night, I felt, I guess, uncomfortable, but I didn't know how to answer it. I was at a friend's wedding rehearsal, and someone I know as an acquaintance, I don't know them very well, said, "Oh, hey, James, how are you?" I said, "Oh, just great." They said, "How's your podcast going?" And I went, "It's terrible. I have not been asked this question." And I was like, "I guess it's going great." So, ask me if you see me in public.
Because it'll be funny, because James doesn't know how to answer the question.
Yeah. So, being on the theme, we were just at a wedding rehearsal last night. Caleb and I are both in the wedding.
Both best men.
We're both best men because they didn't want to choose, and I don't blame them, I guess.
We're two incredible people.
Yes, we are. We're wonderful. But along with that theme, I looked up this is from Blossom DIY, the 23 cringiest wedding fails that will make you rethink your ceremony.
Oh, goodness, yes.
But I was thinking, since Caleb has done so many weddings, especially with the groom that we're going to go
yeah,
watch get married.
We've done a lot. I think we've done over 30 weddings in like a 2 or 3 year span, where we did like anywhere from 10 to 15 weddings per year.
My goodness.
For a while there. It was just getting crazy. But then we realized we don't like weddings. We don't like filming weddings. Weddings are good. We just don't like being behind the cameras and the editing process, which is ridiculous. So a couple of the ones that really stick in my mind. The first one I remember is it was an outdoor wedding, and they were sitting there, and the mother of the groom, I believe it was, whichever one sits on the left-hand side.
Yeah. Whatever.
She got plastered.
Oh, sick.
Early.
Oh, not sick.
So, I mean, it was like 11 o'clock, and she was already a bit on the over tipsy side. And so the bride, like, people are walking down the aisle. Oh, and gosh. I think it was like the flower girl or something, like her skirt was twisted or something. The mother-in-law reaches out in the middle of the aisleway to try and fix it, and just falls over, just falls on the ground. And we're filming this.
Oh, no,
she just
you
falls
don't
over.
have this footage, do you?
I think I have it somewhere. We're not going to post it because I don't want to,
I didn't say post it. I just want to see it.
I just want to see it. She just falls over, and it's like a little wet and a little muddy, and she just falls over, and she gets her dress dirty, and like it's just like an event.
As a professional, how do you keep a straight face?
You don't.
Oh, no.
Because the good thing is everybody else is focused on that situation, so they're not looking at the videographer going...
That laugh, though.
Yeah, they would notice that in the back. Who brought the witch?
Oh, my gosh.
So that was one that really comes to mind. Other one are speeches. If you're ever... have the privilege of giving a speech at a wedding,
which we both do tonight,
take at least an hour to work out, write it out, make it decent, practice it, go through it a few times.
What, you mean winging it doesn't work?
Winging it sucks. It's the worst.
But it always works in the movies.
No, it don't. Anyways, so at least practice a few times, because I've been to some ones where they're just like uber cringy. Like, you're just like, oh, just shut up and sit down, please. Nobody else wants to hear it.
So, really funny story. Brad pulled his pants down at a Panthers game. It was hilarious.
It's not usually that. It's more like, yeah, we used to hang out and used to like dance.
Do you remember when we played Halo 3 for 7 hours straight? I was lit.
Yeah, pretty much. It's usually the guys that have the most, and then the girls are like,
definitely didn't write it.
And girls are usually like, and like, well, let's raise our glasses. And you're like, what did she just say? Because they get really nervous, and when girls get nervous, they talk really fast. The best speech that I've heard came from a 14-year-old boy. He gave one of the funniest best man speeches that I've heard. The best part was, and I forget exactly how he worded it at the end, but he's like, and may God bless you, may this, and may you bear lots of children, and something like that. It was just really weird coming out of like this 14-year-old boy. Like it was just
lots of children
and better lots of children. You commoner peasants. Anyways, so yeah, those are some of the there's a lot more cringy moments where like.
What's the longest wedding you've ever been to?
Longest wedding
ceremony
would actually have to be my cousin's. Way back in the day, it was of course, it was a Catholic wedding, and it was a full Catholic wedding.
Oh, great.
The longest I've had to stand for a wedding filming was over 45 minutes. And they didn't even take mass.
They didn't take mass.
They didn't take mass,
gosh,
but it was still like
been
over 45
if it was
minutes.
Mass. Oh, no.
I know. It's just super long. Yeah, Catholic wedding, because they actually have different versions of the Catholic wedding. They have the short version, which is usually about 20 to 30 minutes, so that's not bad.
It's still excessive. Your wedding should be about 5 minutes, and then I want to get to the food.
No, I think a good 15 to 20 minutes is really nice.
I think that's what mine was, 15 to 20, somewhere in there.
Yeah, 15 to 20, because one, it's a good time to sit down and celebrate. And usually that means the pastor has something good to say. If the pastor or the person presenting has something really good to say, that's really meaningful, that means a lot.
I have been.
And they're not doing things like foot washing. Don't.
Yes, the evangelical Christians love doing really symbolic things, which is fine. It's fine. Do that at home. I don't want to see his nasty feet. I want to see her nasty feet. Just wash your feet at home.
It's just weird because they start playing something like some sweet music.
Butterfly kisses. No, maybe.
And so they start playing like this really
and then the
holy
mom and dad
music.
Get up and wash each other's feet too.
No,
then they wash
thankfully
the
I haven't.
feet.
No, thankfully not. But
and then
it's
they're
just
like, all right, everybody in the
creepy
church.
and weird. It's kind of like, I know this was something Jesus did, but we don't need to all just sit here and watch it.
So that was a common thing back then. We wear shoes and socks.
We
don't need to wash our feet. I mean, some of us do, especially you, Todd, but it's...
Yeah. So that's another one. Try to do away with the weird things. Like, there's some weird things that are funny and kind of fun. Like at my wedding, we did a polka line. I wasn't expecting it. I don't think my wife was expecting it, but we did a polka line and it was fun.
Yeah.
Like it was just like out of the blue, like we're doing this. And I'm like, sure, why not? It was really awesome. I actually really enjoyed it.
So the worst part about Caleb's wedding is it introduced me to the best root beer I've ever drank.
Oh, yeah.
And I have not been able to find any root beer that's anywhere close to how good that was.
And the worst thing is, it's just like a year later, the place closed down.
Oh, that's a bummer. I think you told me that, but I forgot about it. That's a bummer.
Yeah, it was the root beer was just ridiculous. And then the place closed down like a year later and came something else. That was really sad.
So we'll never be able to experience that root beer again. Anyways, so those are a couple of Caleb's stories. The one story I had was there was not one song, but two special arrangements where the groom actually sang to the bride.
Okay.
He had a guitar and he played, and then the brother of the bride, or no, how did that work? Somebody who was very close to the bride sang a song about, from what I remember, it was not about covenant. It was about, what is it? I thought it was consummation. Thought it was a song about consummation. It wasn't. It was something else. It was I thought it was consummation. It was not consummation. I was like, why are you singing about consummation? This is weird. I
going into Song of Solomon over here.
And I was like, dude, this, because like he wasn't the groom or the bride. He was a friend of one of them and singing about consummation. But I think it was it was another word that sounds so close to it. It was another Christian
Consternation?
Consternation.
Oh, God.
But that was that was not a Catholic wedding. It was an evangelical Christian wedding.
Yeah.
It was, I am pretty sure, an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, good Lord.
And then my mom was disappointed because after all of that, then they played the Pirates of the Caribbean theme song to walk down.
What's wrong with that?
Because they had such a wonderful spiritual wedding, and then they ruined it with dirty pirates.
Are you kidding? That's like the best. Like
it's one of the best things ever.
Like that theme song is incredible. I
think it's wonderful. I used to be able to play it on the piano. Now I can't.
Oh, that's sad. Like I really want to go to. I don't know if you've seen this, but they actually play a movie.
Yeah.
With a live orchestra.
I have not done that either, but that sounds very exciting and very bougie.
Yeah, because they went to, it was Lord of the Rings. They were doing
that would be sweet.
They were doing Lord of the Rings scenes, like where they're charging and stuff.
That would be so powerful.
And they had like the choirs and like the full 72-piece band, and like choir. It's just, like you were listening to it and you're going, that would give you goosebumps.
This is what it's supposed to sound like.
I know.
So here are a couple stories of the worst wedding ceremonies or things that happened. This was by a Redditor who has a story. She just had to share the bad news.
Oh no.
Literally 5 minutes before our wedding ceremony started, my aunt came up to me, the bride, and told me that my grandfather had cancer.
Okay.
And most likely only had a few months to live. I had not known, but seeing him that morning, I saw that he was not very well. And unnecessarily, my parents and sister had unnecessarily kept this from me before the wedding. So 5 minutes before you're about to go up and marry, it's supposed to be the best day of your life. Hey, your grandfather's going to die in a few months, by the way.
Yeah. That would be awful.
She continued, Auntie dearest, just waltzed up to me and said, if I were you, I would not be so happy.
Wow.
Did you not know that your grandfather is dying? I cannot remember, but apparently I replied, well, let me get married first, and then I'll take care of this.
Wow.
You shouldn't be so happy. Your grandfather's dying.
Yeah, I'd be like,
this is my wedding day.
It's
I
like,
know
lady,
I'm supposed to care.
There's the door. Please leave.
The other one, this one's exciting. This is just a quick one. Somebody posted on Twitter. The son of the groom had just told everybody that his dad spent 4 years in jail. I think it was the most awkward wedding moment to date.
Oh my gosh.
You have your kid at the wedding, like, so my daddy just spent 4 years in jail.
Yeah. I like how he sounds like he's from the mafia.
Well, you know.
He's wearing a suit and spats. The godchild.
They played the most embarrassing home video ever.
Oh, gosh.
Embarrassing doesn't even begin to cut it. My drunken 19-year-old cousin stole the camcorder being used to make the wedding video, took it into the bathroom. Oh, no, we're not reading this one. Never mind. And proceeded to pleasure himself on camera.
Oh, God.
No one knew he had it. The whole family sat down to watch it weeks later. Unless he's hoping to get arrested in the future. They started their marriage in a pretty bad way.
Oh.
Dearly beloved-ish, wedding members or members of the bride's family had a beef with each other. But come the wedding day, what am I going here? Why can't I read? Members of the wedding.
Great topic, James.
It's wonderful. If only I had done this a lot better.
Are you good?
Shh, I'm reading.
Okay.
They just had to wear white. Number 14. Also a fun fact.
Oh.
My wife told me that if you wear bright red to a wedding, you are the groom's mistress.
And if you wear white to a wedding, you're a prick.
Exactly. For standard U.S. weddings, only the bride wears white. My aunt texted me 2 days before the wedding asking if her daughter could wear white to my wedding. Tempering the request with, she has already bought the dress.
Don't you
it's
love
expensive.
those?
She doesn't have anything else to wear. It's so late. I don't know what to do.
Oh my gosh. No, that's so go somewhere and just find a nice dress.
Since I had also happened to have bought an expensive white dress in which to attend my wedding, my response to that question was simply, No, obviously not.
Good.
And what do you know? It turns out my cousin did have more than just that white expensive dress.
Yeah.
People don't understand that you need to not just the day is not about you. The day is about
Yeah.
the day. Like the best part about being a groomsman is you always can remember you can mostly do anything. Like if you fall down, if you make a scene, that's an issue. But if you pick your nose in the wedding, nobody's really gonna care.
Yeah. Or if you have different colored shoes.
Oh,
I don't care. I have a pair of brown shoes. That's all that matters.
well, yeah, I see what you're saying. But
I have a pair of brown square toes.
Everybody's there,
yeah,
to see the bride, and it's her day,
and the groom.
Nobody cares about the groom. But
yes, they
there
do.
To see.
Half the people are there to see the groom. I'm not saying it's okay. It's like a 80-20. 80% bride, 20% groom.
Yeah.
So they're still there to see the groom.
You know, the groom's aunt is there to be like, she doesn't look that good.
No, I don't think
I'm making a joke. But
oh,
yeah.
okay. I was gonna say I think it pretty much everybody's like, okay, well, go for it.
Good for him, I guess.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Anyways, so I don't know. The best part about my wedding, I don't know why this is so interesting to me. And it only makes sense, but I was like, this is the only wedding where I know literally everybody.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I know all of her extended family, I know all of my extended family, and everybody's here. There were people at my wedding that she didn't know.
I believe that.
But I'm like, yeah, I know everybody here. And then we found out later, we were like, wow, why didn't we not invite as many people?
Invite less people?
Yeah, we should invite less people.
Oh, okay.
But something I did that I didn't realize was probably a negative thing is I wanted everybody to meet my wife, but I didn't have, $25 per plate for everybody in the entire universe.
Yeah.
Or however much our wedding was. I don't even know how much it was. It's been a while. So what we did is we threw a big pizza party the week after. I swear to you, it was a very innocent thing. I was not looking to get money.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I've always been nervous about this because somebody walked in and brought a card.
Yeah.
With money in it. I didn't even have a basket out. I literally wanted to have an innocent party where I just had people come and meet my wife and I from like church and stuff.
Yeah.
But it looks like I was trying to double dip.
Not necessarily. I think it's more of if they didn't make it to the wedding,
Yeah.
then they're like, oh, it's a time I can actually bring my gift.
I guess, but I didn't invite them to the wedding.
In that case, they're still like, oh, hey, I get to go and...
We made more money off the second one.
Oh, gosh.
Like, way more money. I was doing it very innocently, didn't even have a basket out.
So James has found a ploy.
James found a ploy, but if you do it as a ploy, it's bad. So if you want to be completely absolved of the ploy, just say, don't bring gifts, just bring hugs.
Just bring hugs.
Unless it's creepy Uncle Steve.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let him hug my wife. That guy is creepy.
Yeah, creepy Uncle Steve.
Anyways, Kale, what did you bring for us
So
today?
what I brought today...
You have the better stories, and I'm very disappointed.
I was lucky, and I found some good ones this morning. I think so.
Wait, you found this morning?
Yes, of course I found them this morning. What are you talking about? So did you.
I found mine last night. So get wrecked.
Yeah, fine, whatever.
We do lots of good research.
We do. We do lots of research stuff. A school in Saskatchewan, Canada, experienced an unusual interruption when a moose ran through a large glass window and crashed into a classroom.
I've heard of birds hitting windows. But a moose?
Hey, could you just imagine turning and be like, oh, man, hey, look, a moose.
Hey, it's getting bigger. Oh, it's getting close. Oh, no.
just comes flying, wrecking through the window.
Oh, my gosh.
Witnesses said she was dropping off her 2-year-old son at the daycare, which is attached to the school, when the moose crashed into a classroom just across the hall. The school said before the school program was just wrapping up in the room, and at the time the moose on Thursday morning entrance, the students were safely ushered out of the classroom.
Nobody was hurt?
No, I don't.
What?
as the dazed animal slumped to the ground. Oh, that's why it didn't keep rampaging.
True.
It probably pretty much knocked itself out.
I won't make that joke, but it's a funny joke.
Because I believe, as I recall, they're the third or fourth tallest and like heaviest animal. I know they're the largest deer, technically largest deer.
Largest deer. I did not know how big elks were until I was like, yeah, they're big and tall. And then someone had a video one and like next to a car. I was like, oh, they are way bigger than I ever imagined.
Yeah, and moose are even bigger.
Yeah.
Because as I recall, as you can almost, like short people can actually like walk under a moose because they're super tall.
What are they for? What do they do?
I think the reason for that is because a lot of times they're in like marshlands, and so they graze.
I'm just wondering why moose exist.
They're also the one where I think their number one predator in certain areas are the killer whale.
I think I've heard that, but that's the most ridiculous thing.
Because moose can dive down to, I believe, 20 feet.
We discussed this on the podcast. We did. I remember now.
I'm just reminding people that how cool moose are. They can dive down to 20 feet.
Moosin'.
Yeah, because there's a great one, like a cartoon where this guy's diving and a moose comes diving down under the water. He's like, what the heck? And they dive down to eat the stuff on the bottom of the thing. And so one of their predators is the killer whale. Could you just imagine
that just sounds like a little kid getting action figures and be like, oh, I have a moose and a killer whale.
All the way at the bottom, and the killer whale comes and gates it. Yeah, that totally sounds non-legit.
The biggest predator. Well, supposedly the best predator, according to a pastor who watched a TV show, is the killer whale. That is not the only thing that hunts the killer whale is humans.
Yeah. Like it's an apex predator.
I love the fact that we are the world's worst enemy.
Yeah. We are the number one worst predator, except I don't know. Anyways.
That's why I was talking last time about us in a glass box. We're worthless. We can't do anything, but we have a brain and we made tools.
That's true.
We're like, oh, big whale? Give me 3 weeks.
Give me big spear.
Give me 3 weeks.
With a rope.
I need to get Todd and Steve and Gronk.
And one really big boat.
And then Moby Dick was born.
Yeah, if you read that book, you're like, I don't think I really want to go spearing large fish. Except they're not fish, they're a mammal.
What happens? Is it spooky and scary?
As I recall,
I've never read Moby Dick.
They go on a little dinghy to try to get this thing, and basically he spears him, but then he gets wrapped in the rope and eventually gets tied to the whale and dies.
And it's a metaphor that if you continue throwing spears at problems, your problems will just take you down to the depths.
Something like that.
Or something stupid.
Anyways, the Saskatchewan public school said one child sustained minor injuries that did not require medical attention. The moose was tranquilized by authorities and relocated out to the outside of the city.
If it was an American school, they would have been tranquilized with other stuff.
Lead poisoning.
Immediate lead poisoning. That's why it's Canadian.
All the kids pull out guns. Bam, 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 bam. America.
So bad.
Well, everybody in America carries guns, including
if it's a Texan school.
Texan school.
Like at the daycare. Pulls out a Desert Eagle.
It's bigger than the
Dad
child.
always told me I'd need protection.
I've been waiting for this moment for years.
I can't wait to mount this on the wall. The Acadian's like, oh, sorry about that.
Here, let me tranquilize you there.
Oh, the pop, pop, pop. Oh, you silly goose.
Oh.
I meant to say silly moose, but I said silly goose.
Oh. In Canada, they don't have elf on a shelf.
What do they have?
Goose on a moose.
You're fired.
It wasn't me. I didn't make that up. I found it somewhere, but I thought it was really funny.
Or you have a moose on the loose.
Yeah, you do have a moose on the loose, but then you never see him.
This is so dumb.
What else is new? This is Morning Eggnog, people.
Welcome back to Morning Eggnog. So, I thought I'd do a blast from the past. I thought I'd have a speech impediment. I thought I'd bring a blast from the past And I think Dear Abby was still going in the newspaper. I don't know.
At least
I
in
could
the
have done
80s and
like more
90s.
research on Dear Abby, but I remembered, oh yeah, Dear Abby exists. No, I got a news article. It was like something about Dear Abby or Dear Abby passes away. I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but it's reminded me of Dear Abby. So I was like, what about funny Dear Abby questions that people have gotten? 'Cause
Okay.
I think next week I'll do funny Yahoo Answers questions. I think I might have done that already, but some of them are bizarre. So the 10 most hilarious Dear Abby questions. If for those who are unfamiliar, because my wife had no idea who Dear Abby was, Dear Abby visited the homes of the newspaper and online starting in 1956.
Oh my goodness.
Founded by Pauline Phillips, she took the pen name Abigail Van Buren and began giving sometimes controversial, many times helpful, and oftentimes hilarious relationship advice for both men and women. Phillips passed on the column to her daughter in 2000.
Okay.
And it continues. Oh, I did. See, I don't get a newspaper. It continues in mainstream American life. The top 10 most hilarious Dear Abby responses. Most of them, from my opinion, are very outdated and not really that. They're more cringe than hilarious.
Well,
But like the first one here. I know.
See, you and I, we hate cringe. And so we don't think it's necessarily funny, where people who love cringe will be like, that's funny. And we're just like, oh, please, just don't. My daughters are that way. Like, we were watching a cartoon, and one of my daughter takes her blanket and just covers her face. Just like that, just covers her face, and it's just like, I'm not watching this.
I can't do this, Dad.
I can't do this.
I can't do this.
It was hilarious.
You're like, yeah, I passed my scared of cringe onto my children.
Yeah.
Anyways, I had to burp. So the first one here is, Dear Abby, I know boys will be boys, but my boy is 73. And he's still chasing women. Any suggestions? I'm like, okay, first of all, is this your mom?
Oh my goodness.
Don't worry, my dog has been chasing cars for years, but if he ever catches one, he won't know what to do with it. 73. Still chasing women, yep. See, that is the issue is my sister was a waiter for quite some time. And she would talk about all the cute old men that would come in, and then you hear stories like this, and you're like, oh yeah, men are perverts.
They're not all cute old men.
They're not cute old men. They're mostly perverts. Dear Abby, our birth control is deductible? Response, only if they work. Don't work.
Only if they work.
Only if they don't work.
Wait,
then you get, I don't know, Caleb, how much did you make on your tax return last year? $8 trillion?
Lose a couple zeros and you're closer to the number, yeah.
Sweet. A couple zeros. So $8 billion now. Dear Abby, about 4 months ago, the house across the street was sold to a father and son, or so we thought. Later, we learned that the older man was about 50 and the young fellow was about 24. This was a respectable neighborhood before this odd couple moved in. They have all sorts of strange-looking company. Men who look like women, women who look like men. Oh, how old is this? Blacks, whites, Indians.
Blacks, whites, and Indians.
Yesterday, I even saw 2 nuns go in there.
What in the world?
Abby, these weirdos are wrecking our property values. Where can we improve the quality of this once respectable neighborhood?
Oh my gosh.
So a very racist old white woman messages Abby. Abby responds, you could move.
like Abby was sassy. Like her stuff was funny.
My gosh, I joined the Navy to see the world. I've seen it now. How do I get out? Abby's response, simple. Go to your superior officer and say these 2 words.
Oh.
I'm gay.
Is that seriously what it says?
that.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, what the frick? I have always... My gosh.
Oh.
1956, I guess. Good
yeah,
Lord.
it is the good old 50s. Oh, wow.
Dear Abby, I've always wanted to have a family, my family history traced, but I can't afford to spend lots of money to do it. Do you have any suggestions? Yes, run for public office.
Oh, wow. That's true because they'll investigate everything.
Pretty much.
I think that's what that's what she's shooting for.
This is so worded so weirdly. Dear Abby, my wife sleeps in the raw.
Yeah, that's kind of, it must be a thing to say in the 60s and 70s.
Or whatever. Then she showers, brushes her teeth, and fixes our breakfast. Still in the buff. We're newlyweds, and there's just the two of us, so I suppose there's nothing really wrong with it. What do you think? Dear Abby's response. It's okay with me. Just tell her to put on an apron when she's frying bacon.
Not wrong.
Never fry bacon naked.
I've done it shirtless, and that was a mistake.
And the last one. I've been going steady with this man for 6 years. We see each other every night. He says he loves me, and I know I love him, but he never mentions marriage. Do you think he's going out with me to see just what he can get? Abby's response. I don't know. What's he getting?
I like those are actually pretty darn good responses.
So yeah, it's just so no. Dear Abby was basically the Yahoo Answers of the 1950s to now
the 2000s.
So that's Yahoo Answers was another one. It got shut down last year, 2 years ago, and some of the questions on there, because I remember looking at Yahoo Answers when I was like 15.
Yeah,
and just looking up the weirdest stuff. It was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
And people don't know how to spell, and it's wonderful. So I'll probably bring up a few of those at a later date.
All right.
Caleb, I know what the story is, and I'm very excited to hear about
it. A Minnesota police officer was summoned to break up an unusual street fight when two bald eagles were found stuck together in the middle of the road.
What? Are they sure they were fighting?
Yes. Well, because female bald eagles are different than male.
Right, you're right.
Yep.
Than men bald eagles. Men bald eagles.
The manly men.
The man bald eagles.
The man bald dudes. The city of Plymouth said in a Facebook post that Officer Mitch Martinson responded Mitch Martinson was responding to a neighborhood on a report of two bald eagles stuck together on Plymouth roadway. Martin said he's called to break up a street fight between two eagles was his first for him.
Dude, you go to the police, you graduate high school, you're like, I want to serve the people, or you just want to shoot guns. Either one.
Yeah.
You go to the police academy, you graduate, you're like, all right, here we go. We're going to get some bad guys. Officer Mitchell Masters, we have a situation down on 5th Street.
Oh, see, what you're forgetting is this is Minnesota. So it's, hey there, we got ourselves a street fight there. Hey there,
Hey there,
we got ourselves some bald eagles.
We got we got America's freedom fighting itself. Oh my gosh, it's a metaphor.
It's a metaphor. Ah! A third party has to come and break us up. Oh no, here comes China. Wait a second.
The police state.
Okay.
That got very political very quickly. I'm Alex Jones.
Said being called to break up a street fight between two eagles was a first. We do have de-escalation tactics, but I've never applied them to eagles or other animals.
Ma'am, please calm down. Sir, please calm down. Please put down the knives, all of your entire hand.
Just let go of your hands.
I do love that it's bald eagles. Egos?
Oh gosh,
bald eagles, because it's like America's freedom. Also, these guys are idiots.
The officer consulted with the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources and the Raptor Center. Well, they're technically a raptor.
I know.
The Raptor Center. Here comes Chris Pratt on his motorcycle. I can break these guys up. Hey, Bluey! Click, 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 click.
So glad I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, me too. Which told him the Eagles were likely in a dispute over territory.
Obviously. Sounds like the American way.
Yeah.
Hey, this is my airspace.
This is my side of the fence. Get back over on. How dare you move that thing 4 inches? Martinson said,
there are laws, sir.
He was attempting to cover the birds' heads to calm them down when they decided to flee the scene.
Oh, come
The
on.
eagles started going at it again. The next thing you knew, they were flying away, Martinson said.
I have an APB out on 2 bald eagles. One has they're bald eagles. I don't know. What's a descriptive factor?
They're a flight risk.
They're in restricted airspace. They did not call the tower.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that was excellent.
I was very happy when I found that. I'm like, oh, Minnesota and Canada, man, they're kind of putting it up.
Yeah,
See,
no kidding.
up north it's weird animals. Down south it's weird people.
Oh gosh.
Because there's more animals than there are people in the north.
True, because why would you want to live in the north as we live in the north?
Yeah, I got up this morning and I started my car and there's frost all over the windows and I'm like, screw it.
It is pretty sketchy when you hop in your van or whatever, and because you forgot to start it 10 minutes early.
Yep.
And you're like, well, I guess we're just gonna scrape a little bit here where I can see, and then we'll go.
Make a peeky hole so I can see the yellow and the white lines. I hope people don't mind. I'm running my blights because I can't see stuff.
I hope no bike riders are out this morning because they're gonna die.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then what do you got in the south? Like iguanas? You got to wipe your iguanas off. Get off, you dang iguana.
Or alligators if you go further enough south.
Got alligators hanging out on your... If you got alligators on your windshield, you got some serious issues because how do they get up there?
They're resourceful.
Yeah.
The worst part is snakes and everything.
Oh, yeah. Snakes, spiders, and scorpions.
So something that's made me very paranoid about going anywhere where it's sat for a while is spiders and snakes in the toilet. So if you sit down to take a number 2 and, you're just sitting there and suddenly...
Something gets you in the butt.
Yeah, or your winky.
Oh, yeah.
There was a guy who got bit by a snake that was hiding it was hiding up underneath the toilet, and he had to go bad, and it was at a cabin, and he went and sat down. Maybe it was a spider. It was one of them was hiding up underneath the rim. And so anytime I go anywhere, I flush it first, and then
lift the toilet seat just to take a peek.
I'm like,
take the plunger and lift the toilet seat up. Okay.
All right, my winky's not gonna get bit.
Oh, that's a good thing to worry about.
So, and if it's venom, how do you ask your friends to suck out the venom?
You don't. You go to the doctor
and ask them to suck out the venom.
No, hopefully they got an antidote, or you just lose your most vital instrument.
Some people think it's the brain of the heart. It's the winky.
It's the brain of the heart?
No, some people think it's the brain or the heart.
Brain or the heart. I heard brain of the heart, and I'm like, what?
The brain of the heart.
Anyways, we should wrap this up before we go any deeper down this road.
Anyway, so thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to check us out on Spotify, iTunes, Google, Hey, and Podbean. We might make custom shirts just for Caleb and I, and to make you jealous.
Ooh, I like it.
We could do that. So if you have a question for us, if you want to be on the podcast, if you have a green screen background suggestion, you can email us at morningeggnog@gmail.com or message us on Facebook or Instagram. You can follow us on Facebook or Instagram to find out what's going on in the podcast and to get updates on when we post a new episode every other Thursday, unless something dumb happens. So thank you so much for joining us, and have a wonderful morning, noon, and night.
See ya.